My adventurous and optimistic Sagittarius friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Sagittarius, there's a restlessness in you right now that's hard to pin down. It's not simple anxiety, nor is it the thrill of anticipation. It's a kind of low, persistent hum in the background of your days. Maybe it flickers on the edge of your thoughts when you pause between conversations, or when you look out the window and realize you're searching for something, even if you're not sure what. Something in your spirit knows that the ground is shifting. Even if life on the surface seems ordinary, there's an unspoken question that lingers. What if things could change, and what if you had less control than you imagined? You might not be talking about this with anyone, but you can feel it. There's a subtle tension between the urge to move and the instinct to hold tight to what you know. This quiet friction colors the way you see your week unfolding, casting both excitement and uncertainty across your path. You are standing at a threshold, even if you haven't named it yet. The wheel of fortune turns quietly beneath your feet. You sense that the pattern in your life is shifting, but you don't know yet where the new rhythm will take you. This isn't about winning or losing. Instead, it's about the deep, private realization that you are part of something larger than your plans. There's a breathless quality to this moment, as if the air itself is charged with possibility. Maybe you feel a little off balance, like you're waiting for the next piece to fall into place. You might notice yourself thinking about past turning points, those times when everything changed in ways you didn't expect. There's a strange mix of nostalgia and hope, a recognition of how far you've come and how much is still unknown. You may find yourself both drawn to and wary of surprises. This inner state isn't loud, but it's persistent. It tugs at you when you try to settle into routines. It whispers questions when you try to make plans. There's a quiet courage in you, Sagittarius, a willingness to meet whatever comes, even if you're not sure you're ready. Underneath it all, there's a sense that life moves with or without your permission. You are not just reacting to circumstances. You are sensing the tide turning, knowing that your role is to stay open, even when the way forward isn't clear. The wheel of fortune doesn't ask you to predict what comes next. It only asks you to be present as the story changes. This inner restlessness doesn't exist in isolation. It presses you to look at the choices and pressures that are gathering on your path. When you sense that things are shifting, you naturally begin to scan your life for stability, for something you can shape with your own hands. The unease you feel inside finds expression in your desire to assert some control, to find footing as events unfold. Yet you also recognize that not everything is within your grasp. The friction between wanting to steer the ship and acknowledging the winds are changing propels you into the week ahead. Your internal sense of movement gives rise to a search for structure, something solid to hold onto as the world pivots around you. The week ahead brings the energy of the King of Pentacles to the surface. This is the part of you that seeks to build, to establish, to anchor. You may feel compelled to focus on what's practical, your work, your routines, your resources. There's a pressure to prove to yourself that you can create security, even as the landscape is shifting. Perhaps you sense the weight of responsibility, either to others or to your own goals. The King of Pentacles energy doesn't mean things are easy. In fact, you might feel the friction between your longing for adventure and the practical demands of daily life. Maybe you notice a tension between what you want to explore and what you need to maintain. There's a pulse of momentum, an urge to make decisions, to set things in order, to exert your influence where you can. At times, this push for stability might make you feel rigid, as if you're holding onto the familiar out of necessity rather than desire. You might be tempted to focus on tasks, on measurable outcomes, on things you can point to and say, "I did this." Yet beneath the surface, the uncertainty remains. The real challenge is not just in managing your responsibilities, but in doing so without closing yourself off to what's unfolding. The pressures of the week are real, and they can be felt in the small, sometimes invisible negotiations between what you want to control and what you must allow to evolve. As events move around you, you're learning to respond not just with action, but with presence. The path you walk is shaped by this dance between restlessness and the need for order. Your desire for security fuels your actions, but it also invites you to question where true stability comes from. The potential for growth is not hidden in the circumstances themselves, but in the way you meet them. Only by engaging consciously with both your longing for change and your efforts to create structure do you open the door to something new. It is your awareness, not just your choices, that makes all the difference. The invitation is to notice when you are acting out of fear and when you are choosing with clarity. The more you bring your attention to the present, the more the week's true gifts reveal themselves. The unfolding depends on your willingness to participate, not just to react. As the week progresses, the energy of the chariot comes into view. This isn't about conquering or forcing your will. Instead, it's an invitation to gather the scattered parts of yourself and move forward with intention. The chariot invites you to claim your direction, not by denying uncertainty, but by allowing it to sharpen your focus. Growth becomes possible when you bring your desire for change and your need for stability into a kind of conversation. You may notice moments when you feel pulled in different directions, and that's all right. The real movement comes from integrating your restlessness with your responsibilities, your longing with your discipline. When you meet the moment consciously, you find that you are capable of more than you realized, not because you push harder, but because you become more whole. This week, growth is not about reaching a finish line. It is about discovering your own capacity to move forward, even when the path is not fully mapped. The chariot energy shows you what is possible when you let your inner and outer worlds work together. The way ahead may still hold questions, but you are learning to carry them with confidence. Looking back, you can see how these energies braid together. The quiet restlessness of the Wheel of Fortune, the steadying hand of the King of Pentacles, and the forward momentum of the chariot all belong to you. This is not a story of either slash or, but of and. You are both uncertain and courageous, both practical and open to surprise. The week does not demand certainty. Instead, it invites you to trust yourself as you navigate change. The tension you have felt is not a problem to be solved, but a sign of growth in motion. You are learning to hold space for both what you cannot control and what you can shape. There is reassurance in knowing that you do not need to choose between security and adventure. Both have a place in your story. As the week comes to a close, you may find a quiet confidence rising, not from having all the answers, but from knowing you can meet each moment as it comes. The changes underway are not meant to unsettle you, but to remind you of your own resilience. There is resolution in the simple act of being present, and in the gentle trust that, whatever comes, you are enough. Actionable insights for Sagittarius this week. Let yourself notice when you're drawn to routines, and gently explore what feels different about them now. Try spending a few minutes reflecting on what feels both uncertain and promising in your life today. If you catch yourself reaching for control, take a slow breath and see what happens if you loosen your grip just a little. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am steady on shifting ground. I welcome the unknown as part of my story. My choices and my openness both matter. Each day I am more at ease with change. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.